if you're having your money saved in the US dollar, I think you should be worried now. Probably because that dominance, that supremacy of the US dollar, whether we like it or not, sooner or later is going to be overthrown. But there are certain antecedents that are silently playing out to show that this is sooner going to be a practical reality. In fact, the introduction of the Gen Z technology of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and the incoming BRICS currency is going to make this a reality. But a lot of people are oblivious of the technological prowess of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and seems not to be bothered about it. It is gathering steam underground and getting a wider global acceptance. But a lot of people might not be aware. But the technology of Bitcoin cryptocurrencies is going to be like the onset of the internet. When the internet first started, a lot of people did not pay attention to it and didn't see it to be something that they can trust. In fact, a lot of people will not even want to have anything to do with the internet because they see it to be something that they cannot trust. But then what is happening today? It's more like without the internet, you can't do anything. In fact, we need the internet in politics. We need the internet in religion. We need the internet in education. In fact, we need the internet in a whole lot of areas. But it's more like without the internet, you can virtually do nothing. See? And that is the technology that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is bringing on board that people seems not to be aware of. But Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is not just used as a mode of payment and investment, but the technology that it brings on board is bigger than that. But we are going to see Bitcoin, that technology with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, revolutionize how work is done at the workplace, how data is being collected and validated, and for data transparency. And this is what is going to happen at the workplaces. Some companies, I believe some companies might have even adopted this. And sooner or later, we're going to see this being used in most of our job places with the blockchain technology. And in fact, the number of people that are using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency globally is growing on an astronomical rate. And that's why it is not surprising that countries like El Salvador in 2021 saw the need of adopting it as a legal tender. But I see El Salvador as a futuristic country because they are already ahead. Because they've seen that future in Bitcoin cryptocurrencies. And I'm so happy that in April 2022, Central African Republic equally adopted it as a legal tender. And they dropped the usage of the CFA franc. You see, and they saw that this was a way of attracting investors, and actually it will do, because that's the future. And in fact, in Africa, in Nigeria, data indicates that the number of people that use Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is about 46%. That's almost half of the population. And as the years add up, the number keep on increasing. And I'm not going to be surprised to see that in Africa, there's going to be a much greater adoption ahead. Once the US dollar collapses and it weakens, its strength in world dominance weakens, they will look elsewhere. And that's why a lot of African countries will rely on Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, because most of the African countries, their currencies are more pegged with the US dollar, which is going to be weakened soon. You see, the gatekeepers of the US dollar has actually seen this threat with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and they've actually been on their toes, fighting strongly with a strong opposition against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, especially the Joe Biden and Harris administration. bringing on board a lot of lawsuits, which in most cases they always lose. You see, and in fact, when we talk about the sinister, satanic forces surrounding the US dollar, people do not pay attention. In fact, the US dollar is being controlled by echelons of secret powers, and these people are undemocratic and will always want to have a stronghold on the US dollar and control the financial system. And indeed, there are those that are controlling the financial system, and that's why they've become more like a bully. Whoever in any country who doesn't want to go their way, they make sure your accessibility to the financial system is blackout. And that is why that introduction of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to overthrow that kind of undemocratic system. In fact, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies allows individual personal financial freedom. You see, and in fact, if you look at things that are antecedents that are playing out, clearly shows that the US dollar is going to weaken soon, because with the incoming BRICS currency, is going to make them autonomous of the US dollar, and that's going to weaken the US dollar. You see, and the BRICS currency is going to be backed with gold, and most currencies are backed with the US dollar, but with the BRICS currency, it's going to be backed with gold, which will look much stronger. You see, if you look at the case of US politics, Trump looks different. Trump is more of a pro-Bitcoin politician. In fact, if you look at his campaigns in recent times, he has been making very positive remarks, positive statement about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. You see, and that is why his winning this election is going to be decisive for the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And if you look at how things are playing out, there is no way Trump is going to lose this election. And once Trump happens to win this election, in fact, it's going to be huge. In fact, it's going to be like a tsunami, because it's going to make people have more confidence in investing and using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because I won't even be surprised if he advocates for it to be used as a reserve currency in the US. It can be possible, you see. And I believe strongly that a lot more countries globally will start looking at the direction of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, because they've been looking at the direction of the dollar for a long time. And that power grips, sooner or later, is going to be overthrown. You see, so that is why, in fact, if you are not on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now, then I don't know what you are waiting for. You see, but this is an area you really need to pay attention to. Very, very important.